All right, let's take a closer look at two of the big tech names on deck to report their numbers. Of course, Microsoft and Alphabet. Our next guest says that for both companies, the overarching theme will be artificial intelligence, with Microsoft expected to report on its AI investments and adoption strategies, while Alphabet, investors here are hoping to hear more on its AI ambitions, its revenue impact, and its search and its cloud business as well. So joining us now for more is Daniel Newman, the CEO of Futurum Group. Daniel, the Deirdre report that you just heard kind of laid out exactly what the expectations are. What exactly then does cause the catalyze, if you will, the next move in this stock up or down? What are they going to say or not say?
Yeah, Dom, thanks for having me. Microsoft is going to have to come out and say how the 2% of revenue that Azure cloud revenue tied to AI is growing. People are tired of kind of the AI story. It's lost its meaning, and people want to know, is this going to drive the next wave of growth? You got a company with a $3 trillion market cap and possibly the biggest earnings this quarter and for the entire year. And right now, people are saying, how do we go higher if AI isn't driving that number up? 2% last quarter. I'd like to see that double or triple. IBM said their generative AI number doubled, and IBM's just focused on enterprise. Microsoft has the whole industry, enterprise, consumer, touches everything.
Well, it's not just that. They have the second largest cloud offering in Azure. They've got a direct tie to OpenAI as a huge investor there. Is there any other story within megacap technology or elsewhere that can rival what's happening with Microsoft right now? Are other megacaps maybe a catch-up trade in some way?
I don't think there's a rival story, but I do think there's a catch-up story. The market's always forward-looking, and it's always going to jump a little bit ahead. Last year, it was all about the GPU. NVIDIA jumped way ahead. This year is all about implementation. Last year, Microsoft was the only company that got the implementation story right. So we saw what Google did with Gemini. We saw what AWS did with Bedrock and its story. And you have to say that there is a strong possibility that all the market share isn't going to one. We know that AWS has strong partnerships, and we'll see later this week what they come up with. We know Google has had its eye on AI for multi-decades now. These companies are going to come out with a monetization story, and it needs to happen soon because Microsoft is running away with a lot of the credit, and deservedly so. They got the story right. They got Copilot right. They got the charge, the pricing into the market right, and people appreciated that, and they're betting on the company.
Well, then what should Google be doing differently?
Yeah, that's a great question. Google needs to come out and make it clear. They've made big investments, from DeepMind and what they've been doing with Google Brain for a long time. They kind of got it wrong out the chute. They have a cloud strategy, and they have the TPU, the silicon, they have the solutions in the cloud. They need to explain to people how these customers are onboarding, how it's driving revenue to the company. Is it winning competitively? Are they able to take business from AWS? Are they able to take business from Microsoft? They are the third by some distance, and they're also competing with Oracle on the other side. Google needs to come out clear and say, our investment in AI is winning business, it's driving revenue, expanding margin, and we see it as a continuation, the way Azure was able to do so, being very explicit in how it's impacting their revenue.
Hey, Dan, before we let you go, Microsoft specifically, why is Copilot going to be different than Cortana?
Well, Cortana was a pretty big failure, in my opinion. I mean, Copilot is all about overlaying work progress over the things we do every day. We've all picked up generative and LLMs by effectively adding it to our average workday experiences, whether it's in our emails or whether it's the way we write or whether it's the way, we search. It's changing search. Cortana was just, it was like Siri, which is, it's okay, but nobody really cared about it, and it never picked up market momentum.
All right. Daniel Newman, thank you very much for the look at both Alphabet and Microsoft and Big Tech. We'll see you soon, sir.